Okay. So let me just start my video. Okay, so for the very first person, there's Stephen Stephen Abu. This is a nice work, but I think we have a lot of work to do when it comes to um, render setup, which I'm going to touch today. Render setup, and then we're also going to animate this I'm going to animate it, and I'm going to touch up on render setup so that everybody will understand what some render terms mean in the previous space, right? So, Stephen, this is a nice work. I can see you followed all the processes that we put out. Um, then I think you used two processes for this clock, right?
No, I didn't use tutors. I selected the side, inner side of it, and applied a
Oh, you
different
selected.
material to that. So that's how I achieved.
Okay, that's good. Let me change this to again. So this side one and side two, you selected them separately, right?
Yes, yes. Applied the material.
Good. It's a nice one. I like what you've done. Okay, the next is next person is. Oh, I'll mark what I need to mark behind the scene. I don't think I want you guys to see my marking sheet. All right. This person is Esio Boma. This is nice, but um, I think we have a bit of a rough work here. So this, right, is not what we had last week. Esio Boma, are you here? Please, I need the
Yes, I
people.
am. Good one,
So yeah,
sir.
good. Good morning. So what happened to this case? Yeah, what happened to these three guys?
Yeah, so I used Blender and there was no capsule in Blender, so I had to look for how I would improvise.
There's no capsule in Blender.
No,
That
there's
is,
none. Or maybe I've not seen it yet.
so if there's no capsule in Blender, you can always get a capsule out of um out of the you can always get it out of the bool or intersection between the cylinder, right, and the sphere. So you put a sphere inside the cylinder, like so, right? I'm
Okay,
gonna give you this. You understand?
okay.
Only
Yes.
the capsule. And so for next time, try to do that because I want everybody to understand what we are doing and be deliberate about it. So, and then we also use this thing here, um, a cube. Why? Use a
Yes, I
cube here.
did.
We deliberated on using a cylinder here,
Okay, sir.
cylinder, but it's fine actually. I like the fact that okay, you're using what you feel will go right because that's where creativity um comes in, right? You're just creative and I like that. Right, I
Thanks,
like
sir.
that. Yeah, but um, the instruction I gave was to replicate what I did. So probably the next class or the next task will be do what you feel is creative, right? So then also please let's work with your alignment. So you see that this is there right here, this cylinder is not placed at the middle. You see, the distance from here to here is more than the distance from here to here. So this cylinder is not at the middle of this sphere. It's not at the middle of this sphere, right? Then um, same thing goes with this guy too here, right? Um, and then yes, your subdivision. See, it's very obvious that it's not smooth, right? We want to get our model as smooth as possible. The only way you should have models that are not smooth, right, is if you intentionally want to go poly mode, right? Low poly mode, probably low polygons, you only use low polygons. Then you can decide to make your subdivisions very visible, right? But since we're not going low poly, so you see this your sphere, looks high res, right? And then this guy looks great, and this guy is giving low poly, and this guy is giving good. So there are different types of styles, and it doesn't really work well, right? So if you want to go low poly, go low poly. If you want to go um, full subdivisions, right? You go full subdivisions. But this is great. Nice. I even like the fact that you used another color combination. It shows that I'm trying to think. Uh, I don't want to use the cliché out of the box thing, but I find it. I'm not trying to think like other people or like me myself. Yeah, I like this. And the render settings. I think I like what you render is doing, but how many lights did you use? I think you used over. Let me guess. You used the blue company. Let me get this annotation first.
I
So
used,
I think you used the blue light from here, right?
yes, I did.
And then let me see. You used one from the front, but it's not as bright as the one. Yeah, I used one from the front because I can see some light leaking here. You have some
Yes,
light leaking. The exposure is much on this place, on this guy. You only use two lights, right?
yes, I used two lights.
Okay, so next time, I think I'll also touch on lighting today. So see, basically, to make sure that things are well, everybody please listen, we should at least use three lights, at least. We have the key lights, we have the fill lights, and we have the main lights, right? Some people use two key and one key light and two fill lights. It depends on whatever it is you want to achieve. For me, I just like to call it main light, fill light, and key lights. Or you can say key lights, two key lights, and one fill light. But most importantly, most people use um, um, one key light and two fill lights. I'll get to that um, when we start this class. But this is a very nice one. Well done. Okay, so for
Thank
the
you,
next
sir.
question, well done. For the next question, we have, yes, Tobilola from Tobiloba Olan. So Tobiloba, I can see your model. Number one, what screen resolution did you use? Tobiloba, are you here?
Yes, I am.
Right. You're already smiling at yourself. You're already laughing at what you did. I can feel it. So, you used, in fact, I don't think you used any light. You used the direct light in Cinema 4D, am I right?
Yes, I didn't do any settings.
Yeah. And this is just basic settings. So, this is not sitting well. See, this cylinder is not sitting well with this sphere. See? And then
Yes.
see actually see the intersection. It's not right. So please everybody, when we are doing things like this, let's try to be as precise as possible. Hmm? Let's try to be as precise as possible. Right. So you see all your jagged edges here. You see all these edges? They're
Yes.
jagged. So you didn't use the knife tool properly. You're just cutting anyhow, as I can see, like this, right? But please let's just fix that. But nice work, nice try, nice try. Okay, show me. Hmm,
Thank you, sir.
hmm, hmm. Show me. You show me in this space. Show me. I like what I'm seeing here. I know what I'm seeing here. So if I can guess well, you used the light here. There's a white light. There is another one. So the light here is also. I think you have more light here. One. You have um. You have one here too, right? And then you have one. All right. Yes. So
Okay, can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, yeah.
Well, about your lighting, am I right? Before I
Yes,
start talking.
yes, correct.
Huh? I can't hear you. I can barely hear you.
Can you
Hmm?
hear me? I said the light
Yeah.
positions are correct.
Okay. Okay, good. So I like your modeling. I like everything you've done here. I like the material you use. In fact, I love this model so much. I like how bold it is. But please also, right? Let's learn because one of the things we're learning to centralize our render, right? Let's learn to centralize our render. So this distance from here to here, right? Is not
Yes.
the same as distance from here to here. That's number one. Number two, in this type of rendering, as much as shadows. We have a lot of shadows right here. So we want to eliminate shadows,
Okay.
right? Yes, I'll also give a tip on how you can do that. You can just by removing the background, right? Removing
Okay.
the background. Yeah, that's one of the best ways to do it. But I like what I'm saying. I really
Thank
know
you.
what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Keep it in your heart. I like what I'm saying. Okay. So well, we're going to animate today, so it's going to be fun.
All right.
So next person is next person is yes, Priska. Priska, you were not in the last class, were you? Hello,
Us? Can you hear me?
Priska. Yes, we have the same issues here. Yeah, I can hear you. I think we have the same issues here too. So you use Blender, right?
Yes, yes, I did.
So you couldn't get the torus and then see your subdivisions. So the problem I have with this now is that this is rougher than this, and this is rougher than this. So this is smooth, this is less smooth, and this is rough. Why do we have three different variations? Why do why do we have three different variations? Guys,
Sure.
um, why do we have three different variations here?
There are three different materials.
No, it's not about doing three different materials. Yeah, three different materials, fine. But we have three different subdivisions of these meshes.
Yeah, I did them one at a time.
Hmm? You,
Hmm?
you said what? What did you say?
After I duplicated them, I did some tinkering with each of them.
Ah, man. Favor, welcome, oh, welcome. Well done, coming in late. Well done. Okay, well, so next time, please, let's just do one, just like I did the other time, to avoid, to make sure everything is uniform. Just do one, right, and duplicate that one, so that you would have uniformity, right? Then then your lighting, yes, we have one very major light here. We have one very major light here, reaching from here, and then maybe one light here, no, one light source here, but it's not as bright as this guy. So you use two lights, right? Just
Yeah,
two,
two lines.
just two. I can see. Okay. This is a nice trial. This is a nice trial. Then we also work on this because, like I said, I'm trying to be precise. So look at my model. If I'm going to show you my model and what we did last week, try my best possible to make sure that it is the same thing with the drawing, with the illustration. Do you understand? So we're trying to be as what's it called? As detailed, or let me say as
Precise.
um, precise, that's the word, okay. As precise as possible. Let me make this one. Yeah. I'm trying to be as precise as possible. So please, let's make that work, right? But this is a
Alright.
very nice one. Thank you very much. Um, wow. This is Latifat, yeah, or the band. Okay, so Latifat, were you in class? No, we're not. Is Latifat here? Latifat, are you here? I don't think so. Latifat is not here. Okay, so if Latifat is going to see this video, right? If she's going to see this video, she's going to, I'm telling you that number one, your subdivisions are rough, right? then everything is not well subdivided. And then the intersections. I don't think I like this. I don't think I like this. I think this is a rough one. Just, but yeah, nice try now, nice effort. But I think we should go back to the video we made because all these things are intersecting each other. So this Taurus is supposed to be in front of this thing that looks like a waveboard. No, so it's not supposed to be like a waveboard. It's supposed to be a stretched out cylinder. So I don't know what this is. Yeah, and then we have shadows all around, giving the edits and making it not attractive, right? So let's work on that. Okay, as we sent me screenshot of Blender. I won't say anything. I won't say anything to that. So you said some render paths are not showing in Blender. It won't show now because they are intersecting each other. How will it show? It never show. It never show. It won't show. Walter, I know you are here.
Yes. I mean,
What's going on? Walter, what is this now?
hello?
Hmm? Yeah, Walter, I
Hello?
can hear you. What's this? Yes, I can
Ah,
hear you.
okay. I actually dropped another one. I was able to render it later.
Oh, very good.
There's
Oh,
another
this.
file under it.
Oh, I've seen it. So you rendered
Okay.
it. So you put one
Yeah.
very light here at the back. Don't worry, we'll
Yeah.
talk about lighting, like I said. And this
Oh,
guy should be in front. It should
okay.
be in front. Check the layering of this. What I did for you guys. Check this. Are you seeing this? These three guys are in front of this. They are not. They are not here. They are not here, right? They are not. I don't know wherever it is you put it, or you put them, right? So it's a different thing to model something. It's another different thing to be able to determine and decipher the perspective. What is in front of what is behind what, right? Very, very important to know that. So moving on. Wow, favor, favor, you came in late. Favor,
Yes, good morning.
smiling, just like that. You came in late. And then favor, see what you did for me. Favor, what was this? Hey, favor, answer me. Favor,
Yes, I'm here.
hey, answer me. What's this?
So I told you about my graphics card last week.
Okay.
So
But
this is
your
what I couldn't render. It was taking too much time, and I couldn't even
yeah,
see
but
what I was doing.
funny enough, I'm not even really concerned about the render per se as part of your graphic card. But the models are rough. You can never use these models in animations. It will be rejected because the subdivisions are
Mm.
not clean, rough, and and this one at the back, I don't know what's going on behind here. Even this one, I don't know what's happening here. So it's not about the render, it's just about the models. That's what I'm asking. Even your choice is not straight. It's not straight.
Okay.
Please, let's see. Just, just I need us to calm down when we're having. So when you're doing models, don't be in a rush. Although you have the end in view, fine, but don't be in a rush to see what is model. It is not advisable to do that. Please don't be in a rush, right? So let me. The next person is hold on, sorry, trying to get something out of here. Okay, so the next person is the way they Isaac. Isaac man. Isaac, you didn't use any lights, you only use the sky. Are you there?
Yes. Hello? Hello?
Yes, you used yeah, you used only the sky. You didn't use like light setup.
I
You use
actually
physical sky.
I actually included a light, but I had to turn it off because I was trying to position it, but it was looking funny.
As far as the weather is concerned, you did not use light. You use physical sky. That's what I'm saying. And then the models are not straight. I think I explained in that video. Is if you actually watch that video again, you would have been able to rectify this jagged edge torus that we have here. Okay? And then this your capsules, this one is entering the disc more than this one. If you check for this, so it's tilted outward like this, right? And then everybody knows that this is a capsule. See, it's not entering the torus well. This guy and this guy and this guy. Please, I just don't want us to just do and task because I can be very detailed when it comes to this thing. And if I tell everybody, okay, we want to have an animation project, and you're giving me some things that you cannot use, I won't use them, and it will be quite painful after a whole lot of efforts. So please, I like this color combination. Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? Who is this? Nena, are you here? Nena, are you here? Nena, Nena is not here. I like that color combo, pink and green. But next, this, please, I like us to be precise when it comes to the shapes, please. I don't think I can overemphasize that. I like the fact that you guys are using, you are bringing it out in your style. In fact, I like this game. I like what you did here. I like the fact that you're bringing it out in your style and beautiful. But you see, I'm not complaining about this because it's sweet and smooth. I don't even care. Though this maybe is one kind, but yeah, it's sweet and smooth. But imagine this is also sweet and smooth and it's not a chorus. I won't complain, right? So please let's get those things working properly. Doctors, where is the gist? Where is the gist? This is physically inaccurate. If we are going to put dynamics and physics into this animation, everything will drop. Is Dockers here? Yes, Dockers. Dockers is physically inaccurate. So I need you to, I can hear you. I can hear you, but it's very faint. So please include the disk because we're going to be having animations now. So include the disk and get this scene in the proper way, please. I'm speeding up already. It's already 10:30. Okay. Maiwa, nice one. Nice one, Maiwa. So this is very, very close to what I did. Very, very nice one, Maiwa. I give it to you. You try it. This is good. Maiwa, you
Thank you,
here?
sir. Thank you, sir. Yes,
Ah,
I'm here.
all right. Well done. Korede, Fela Korede, this is also good. But why do we have it against a white background? As if you put everything on a white background. I don't know if Korede is here. So Korede is not here. It's putting it against a white background. So when we want to animate this, we're going to have issues because they have to stand on their own, not against the white background or inside the white background as it is. Yes, Amarachi. Amarachi, I also like this. I think you and Mayowa. Yeah, Amarachi. But if your capsules intersection like elbow. So I don't know. We need to make them smoother. Mine mine even smooth. I mean render. Okay.
You're
Now
breaking
that
you're
it's not
breaking
super
up.
smooth. So how about now? Can you hear me? That's,
No. Hmm.
um yeah, yes, just need to all right. So next is Amarachi, yeah, that's a good word. Thank you. I like the fact that you're even making it stand against a black background. So it makes it usable as a template. Well, I'll talk about render settings. Then Rebecca, I know what Rebecca did. I know what she did. But Rebecca, are you in this space? Rebecca. Rebecca, you went to put cinema for the club. No, I don't want that. That's the how do I put it? We will to the answer for me. But I like this. Yeah. So she's trying to put some a bit of realism into this. And yeah. So with the transparent material and everything, it looks good, but can be better. Can be better. Can be better. Then Mary got servant and Mary, yes, Mary also did something similar to what Mayowa um and Amarachi did, and I like that. And then uh Bisola, what's this? Bisola is this place.
Yes, good morning. I'm here.
Bisola, what's going on? What's going on here? And here and and here.
I had trouble with the capsules. I wasn't really getting it, so I used cylinders.
What did you use? This is not for the use for Blender.
No, blender.
Why is everybody having so in fact everybody having issues with capsules? Did you did you try to find a way around it? Because that a lot number one way, no, let me tell you number one way.
Okay.
Number one way, go to YouTube. That's like default. If you don't want to go to YouTube, open your cinema 4D, right? Create a capsule object or export it out as an OBJ. And if you open in your Blender, that's another way.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um, I don't know. I don't know. Please let's work on because I don't think this will work on animation. It's gonna work for what I want us to do. It's gonna work. Okay, moving on. Oluwafisayo. Is Oluwafisayo in this case? Eh? Oluwafisayo. Fisayo, what's this? What's happening here? Explain to me what's happening here. And and here.
Sir?
And here. What's happening? What's happening? Fisayo.
Sir?
Hmm? I said what's happening here.
Sir, it's not
Places.
sir.
Hmm?
Sir, I don't know.
Don't worry. Don't worry. You get to that point, but you run this work for me. And the way you even do it, just see, you need to put your heart to this thing, everybody, because by the end of this class or the end of these trainings, you guys be able to have um um your own model conveniently or comfortably. Probably if you need to speak to me or ask me or something, probably use an advanced setting, maybe texturing, render or something, but you're able to have basic modeling skills, right? That's why I went through all that stress last week. Please, you can go back to watch the video. I don't like this, right? But nice try. Okay, and last person. This person submitted 11 a.m. Okay, that was yesterday. Um, who is Descent? Descent, do I know? The person is not here. Okay, all right. So let's move into today's um today's class. Let's move into today's lecture. So um, nice work again, guys. Nice work. Hope you can all see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So back to seminar. Back to seminar. I don't know why. Hold on. Let me. Okay. Let me try to clear this down. Um. Okay. All right. So I think Please, can you see my screen before I start? Okay, yeah. Okay, moving on. So the first thing to do, over the week when I was thinking about, okay, how am I going to make these animations? I discovered that there are some things that I'm supposed to separate and not bull. For example, I'm supposed to separate these guys.
Sorry, I'm breaking up.
Oh my God, I think my internet.
No, it's not. It's your network.
Okay. So I'm not breaking up. Please, your network.
He is actually breaking up.
Guys, sorry guys, not breaking up.
Am I still breaking up? I need to know.
From my end, you're fine.
So they say I'm fine. I don't know. Okay, good. I'm not breaking up. So I have a lot of no, 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 no. Good. So yes, I'm supposed to separate. Okay, I'm supposed to separate these guys, right? So that we will have moving hands, right, in the animation. And then also these guys, I'm supposed to convert them
Sorry, I'm
to.
breaking up.
Hey, God, I'm not breaking up. A lot of people are saying I'm not breaking. Like
No,
they
you're
can
not
hear me.
breaking up.
So I think it's your network. Check the network, please. Check the network. Okay. So let me do something so that we be on a balance scale. Person saying I'm breaking up. How is it now?
It's better now.
Okay. All right. Already magically. Okay. So um also also I would also explain what happened what happens actually when you put two of this together, because there's what we call um, um, anchor point, right? Anchor point is the point, or is the center of gravity of any object in your 3D space. For example, the anchor point of this guy, right, is here at the middle here, such that once you select the object, right? That is where the object will rotate by. That's the axis the object will rotate by. You see, rotating at the middle, right? And this thing is very, very important to understand in 3D, especially when you want to make animation. So, for example, the anchor point for this, I think I did it last week. I have to shift it. Is at the middle. We are safe, right? The anchor point for this, I intentionally didn't do it alone in my house because I knew that you guys would have to ask how. So if you check this object, you see that it's not rotating. It isn't rotating based on its center, right? Its center axis, and that's an issue. So the first thing to do is to make sure that we bring this gizmo right to the center of the object. And how do we do it? Right? We do it by in Cinema 4D. Um, the shortcut is L, right? But this is the button here. It's called the enable access. So you're trying to edit the access, right? So once you click it, it will allow you to move this gizmo, right, to where it's supposed to be without moving the object. Again, if I don't enable this and I just try to move see, so it's going to move the object, and that's an issue. So what I want to do is I want to enable this and move this like so. So and disable it back such that once I want to rotate, it rotates, you see, along axis. I don't know what it's called in Blender though, but this helps to edit the the rotational axis of your object. But that being said, we want to enter animation, and um, I'm trying to do a lot of things now. I want to touch on three things: animations, lighting, and render. Let's first light our scene, right? Drop some light in. And let me just go to Google so you guys understand what 3 point lighting is, right? So 3 points. So 3 point lighting right here. So let's search for 3 point lighting, and then so simple image. Let me just drop an image. So look at this guy here, this first image, right? So we have your object, which is what we modeled, and then we have the key light, fill light, and backlight, right? Some people can do key light, fill light, and another fill light, right? But most times it's fill light, and backlight. So the key light is the major light, like is the like major light your object um like is the main light in your scene. It can be the brightest light in your scene, but that's the key light, right? And then the fill lights, uh, the fill light is like an effect light. It can be any color. It can be blue. It can be green. It can be whatever. Also, your backlight can be any color. But more often than not, your key light is always like the brightest, right? And also, it is most times white, the white light, right? Most times the brightest and the white light. So also look at this. We also have so this is another setup. So your key light can be on top of your camera. It can be behind your camera. It can be under your camera, right? But it can also be beside the camera, but it shouldn't be facing your camera. Also, yeah, well, let me put it this way. Depending on the kind of scene you want to achieve or on kind of thing you want to achieve, your key light can also be, it can actually be close to the back of your model, right? So if you have, excuse me, please, guys. So I was saying that, all right, thank you. So I was saying that the okay. So I was saying you can have a key light, a fill light, right? Please just ignore the noise, guys. So you can have a key light, your fill light, and your backlight, just like this. So let me just set my scene up so that you guys will see what I mean. And then so you see the key light here is the brightest, right? like as name implies, called key light. So let's go to the top view and set up our lighting, right? So let's add the first light. So I want my light. In fact, let me drop my camera first. I want my camera and light to be in front of the object, right? So there are different ways to set up your camera, different ways to set up your camera. You can either add your camera from this panel or just add your camera from that panel. Actually, one way. Okay, so let me just add here and zoom out. So yeah, there's this little button that helps you focus on an object here, right? Once you click it, you'll be in the camera mode. So I can zoom out. I can zoom out, right? And have my objects this way. Sorry about that noise, guys. Can you guys hear me clearly?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Okay, so yeah, I have my camera this way, right? From the top view. So this is my camera here, right? So the next thing to do is I want the view, the focal point, because this is too far, right? So let's bring our focal point to where the object is. So we can just click and drag this to reduce so that we know that, okay, it's focused on the object, right? So when we want to have something like an object blur, a background blur, a focus, what's it called now? Focal point, right? A focal point is just for background blurring and all that. We'll be able to focus on the object and blur every other thing in the background. And can also check this attribute space here, right? To see to set your camera field of view, right? And so if I let me come back here and tweak. So see my horizontal field of view. You see what it does? So the camera is able to see from left to right more, right? And then if I do the vertical field of view, it does from top to bottom. So, but this is what I want. I just want it to focus on these objects, like so, right? I don't want any other thing. And then also you can also set your camera type. So check something. See my horizontal field of view. See what's happening, right? That is very, very similar to your focal length, right? Your focal length. So I can decide to make my focal length wide angle, right? So as I change it, look at the horizontal view here. I make wide angle super wide portrait, right? You can make it super tele, but most times just for your object to be properly seen. If it's a portrait, probably you are talking about humans and like headshot and busts, right? But let's just make it classic, right? Where I see all my objects, right? That's the first thing. Also, to help you station and stage your objects very well in the camera, come to the composition and you can turn on the grid. We have rules in photography and videography. And one of the very, very sweet rules I love is the rule of third. I love the rule of third. I also love using the golden spiral, right? I love using diagonals too, right? And I love the golden spiral. But sorry, this is the golden spiral. Probably I'll give you assignments to study on that. It's another little thing on camera, just for you to understand how to stage your objects in your camera and how to render them the right way. So let me just kill the golden spiral. This is a very simple scene. And so I can either, because I want to respect the rule of third, bring this to the right here, right? Such that all the the objects would be on the first third of the screen, right? Like the left part of the screen, like 1/3 of the screen. That's what rule of third means. And then you can also bring it to the right. There are different ways, but let's just make it at the middle because it's just one object, and I don't want any. We are not trying to um, mildly focus on backgrounds, right? We just want the objects to be at the middle. So let's just bring it at the middle. To the middle, I mean to the center, and then the diagonal path, right, goes through such way like this, right? So the next thing is to add the first light, right? The first light, we're going to add the first light, which is our key light. So you can either make it a spotlight or an area light. But I think I'd like to make it an area light. So come down to lights, select area lights, right? So by default, your area light is on top. No, is where your objects are, right? So we click and drag out. So note that your light always shines in the Z direction, not in the X or Y direction. So it always shines in the blue direction, the Z direction. So let's bring this back, right? So I want my lights to be on top of my camera, like so. I drag it on top of my camera. Remember, this is my camera and this is the view. So it can be here directly. And then I can even decide, you know what, let this light be behind my camera. So let's bring it to the back of the camera, like so. And then you can try to increase the surface area of the light. So like so, right? So that's light one. Then the second light is my fill light. So probably I want to fill it with a blue color. So I can duplicate this light. In fact, let me tell you, let me do something so that it'll be easier for you guys. It will be easier for us to focus our light. So this light, you can right click and look for a tag called I think it's animation tag. Like select targets, right? Once you select targets, you're trying to tell the light to target the object here. So I think I'll just pick any object at the middle, probably a random object that is where. Okay, so let me try that again. Sorry about this, guys. Sorry about the disruption. A lot of distractions here. Okay, so let me open it again. So I'm going to do what I did again, almost from scratch, so you guys would understand again. So I'm adding my camera first. My camera, right? No, let me come to the middle here. So I'll add my camera from the front. Again, I'm repeating all the process. So please just let me know if you can't hear me well, guys. Please just let me know. Okay. So this, and then focus, then reduce this to okay, classic, and then go to composition, turn on the grid, and then let's zoom in a bit. It's my camera object, and zoom in like this, right? So where we have our object at the middle, in the middle, and then the next step is we reduce the. Why does this thing keep crashing? There's something going on with my OS. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, let me try this again. Let me try this again. Okay, so yeah, so with my camera like so, then I add my first light. But before I even add my lights, let me add the target tag, and I target this cylinder, right? So no, I meant to target this one. I meant to target this one. So I can bring it back in here. target this guy. Okay. All right. All right. So I'll move this. Okay, I don't want to target that because it's distorting my camera. So let me just delete it and move it like so. Okay. So the next thing is my lights. Like I did initially, bring in my area lights and then drag the area light back, right? We can also make it big, like so. It's behind my camera, guys. It's behind my camera. So we can always bring that up like this. Then the next is to reduce my focal length. That camera is too far away. Like the focus is like behind the object. We don't want that. So let us bring the focus distance. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back to around, let's say 500. 500. So I think that's fine, right? That's the focal focus distance. And then the next is the my lights. Let me test right now to see what I have. Okay. Then this one, the torus, I think I'm just gonna have to make it editable. No, I don't like what this torus is doing. Okay, ring segments. I think, yeah, I'm increasing my ring segments to 128, right? So my test render, I think I'm better this way. Yep, I think it's okay. So the next is, yeah, okay, so we have the first light, which is the main light, right? So let's have our fill lights. Let me target an object. So you understand why I've been targeting objects since, and just drop this here. So now if I copy this light, like the main light, let me rename it to main light. Main light, or let me say key light. Key light. All right, this is as a key light. All right, then we can copy. Once we copy, you discover that the light is facing the object, no matter where I'm dragging it to. That's why I put the target to it. It's very, very important to know that. So I put it here. I don't want it to intersect with the camera, so I put it right here, right? I'll call it fill light. And then for the backlight, I can put it right here. And I'll call it backlight. Right, that's about that. Then I don't want my backlights to be that conspicuous. I may put it down, I may take it up, I may take it directly to the back and push it backwards, right? So because I don't want any interactions with my camera. Okay, so everything is looking super exposed, and there's a lot of fights. And we're gonna fix that right away. So the next thing to do is to give our light colors. So my fill lights, what color do I want to fill it with? I think I want to fill it with a blue. I want a blue, right? And then my backlight, probably a yellow light, like so. Or let me use a red light for my backlight. So if I test render, we have things coming up. So if you check this part of the screen, you see red, and then you see blue here, and then the front, you're going to see like white. So let me do that again. So you see, we have the blue light as a fill light. So what happens is my key light, right, so that it will make a lot of sense, I would have to, let me even first make everything, all the lights, pass shadows. Because I want the objects to drop shadows on each other. So let them pass soft shadows, right? And then this guy, my key lights, I may want to increase the intensity, right? But before I do that, in fact, I want all my lights to be physical lights. So let's go to the details. Let's make them, let's give their fall off. So physically accurate. Physically accurate. Fall off just means the degree at which your light fades out when it comes to distance. So, you know, the light source is going to be brighter than um, the end of the light. So I want a physically accurate fall off. So let me test render. Okay, so we're getting somewhere. It's still much. It's still giving us, you know, that feel of, okay, this is too much. So the next is, so my fill lights, I don't want it to be 100, right? I don't want it to compete with my fill lights. So I can put it to about 50. No, yeah, let me use 60 or 70. And then my backlights, I don't want it to be that much. Probably I want a 20 or 25, right? Because the main, like I said, the major light is your field lights, right? Sorry, it's your key lights in that sense. So let us then the next thing to do, since my light is set up, in fact, I can decide to have an HDRI. HDRI means high dynamic range image, or I can have a top light, a light at the top of my scene. But most times I prefer HDRI lighting, right? So, and that's like environmental lighting, like you're lighting the environment, like your entire environment with an image. So if I come to let me come to sky, right? I've added the sky object. A sky object is just like an environment object, like an environment object everywhere, the whole environment. So I can come to the sky, open up my material window right here, add a material, and look for the sky, look for the color, remove the color, add environment, and let's drop an HDRI. I think I downloaded some HDRIs last time. Looking for the HDRI. Hold on. Trying to find it. Okay. If I can't find that, just give me some minutes, a few seconds. Let me open. Okay. So, sky. I'm trying to locate my HDRI. Okay, so my HDRI, let me just copy this. Copy. Just copy, 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 copy. Okay, copy shader. Then let's go back to this guy and drop the HDRI by pasting shader. So yeah, I brought in a room. This is how the HDRI looks. It's just like a room. Okay, it's gonna open it in Photoshop, so you understand. So you can also get HDRIs on. Let me explain what HDRIs do. So HDRIs are just 360 image of a scene, right? So these are HDRIs. These are samples of HDRI images, right? These are samples. So if you have one of these images, some are free. We have a lot of them that are free online, right? You'll be able to attach them to your scene such that once your scene is lit up, it gives this realistic feeling of, okay, it's in a space, it's in a room. In fact, most times you won't be able to, it won't cast unnecessary shadows on your objects, right? So, okay. Yeah, so this is my HDRI scene. It's an object. Excuse me, it's an object, right? And it's a picture of a scene. So what Cinema 4D does is it brings it back in and wraps it, right, and pushes it out on your scene. So it's on the sky object as it is right now. And then okay. So the next thing to do is we want to have our render setting so that this thing will be prim and proper, right? So let's go to our render setting right here. So the first thing to do in setting up your scene for render is to consider the output. right? Consider the output, consider the subdivisions, consider the lighting, and then probably consider the resolution. So first, my resolution is 1280 by 720. Sometimes I like my images to be square images. So I can have a 2K, right? So once you change that to 2K, you see that my camera has shifted. So I can just zoom in my camera. So I will have this. One. Number two. Number two is the multiple, okay, anti-aliasing. Anti-aliasing just talks about the, sorry, can you hear that noise? Can you hear that sound? Or can you hear something like music playing?
No, we can't.
Okay, you can't. Okay, very good. So, um, so the anti-aliasing just talks about the pixel smoothing, like it's smoothing the pixels of your object when you render. So instead of leaving it at geometry, we always drop it to best, right? We make it best, and then effects. You have two major effects that we add: ambient occlusion and, of course, global illumination. So ambient occlusion is just like uh, light cast when another object blocks light from hitting another object. That's ambient occlusion. For example, if I have a sphere, right, in between a light source and a cube, the shadows that the sphere is causing on the shadows caused by the distance of the light, right, from the sphere casted on this cube, right, is ambient occlusion. That's why we call it ambient, which means light. And occlusion means blocking. So like light blocking, but the shadows formed between that is what we call ambient occlusion, and it's very, very important. So even in real life, if you put a lamp in front of probably you're in front of a lamp. If you look back, you'll definitely be blocking an object. So that object, right, the shadow from the base of that object, from that object you're blocking to another object, right, the shadow grading is ambient occlusion, right? So, and it's very, very important. So that's why we have this grade thing. So I would explain that when we render. Then global illumination is just, as name implies, illumination caused globally in that sense, such that once light shines on an object, right, the light bounces, the interaction of object with light, that's global illumination. So what object blocks what, then the physical properties of those objects, everything contributes to global illumination as well. So, and then the third one, I think I'll use caustics, and then caustics is just volumetry. It's more volumetry. I think I'm speaking out of grammar, but caustic is the reflective and refractive property of an object, right? How it interacts with light. That's caustics. And then I add color mapping. This color mapping helps to tone down color leaks in in our renders, right? So,
Sir,
for example, yeah.
sir, can color mapping help in the to fill the objects?
No, not to fill the object. It helps us to control color leakage, so that even if there is, to control overexposure, right? So a
Okay.
color will not be too red, such that it will lose its red property. So it just helps us maintain, it clamps the color leakage properties. So if I render this for a test, see that it takes longer, see that this is better
Okay.
than what we had before, right?
Yes.
It's
Yes.
better than what we had before. So if you check well, look at this shadow. You see a very dark shadow here, right?
Yes. At the
And
edge.
then at the edge, and then towards the middle, you see that the shadow disappears, right?
Yes.
That is ambient occlusion. So because this object is occluding light from getting to this disk, that's how we have. So where the two objects intersect will be darkest, because that is where light is not reaching the most. Then when the objects begin to move apart from each other, away from each other, the shadows begin to reduce. That's the effect of ambient occlusion, right? So let me go back to my render settings. You see that, but we still have noise all around. Still have like noise. So let me go back and add one more. It's new in cinema. It's denoiser. So it helps us to reduce noise. So just watch this. If I kill the color mapping, watch what happens. See that we have a lot of leakage. So you see this place, overexposure. Are you seeing? We're losing a lot of color here. Even though we put
Yes.
blue. Yeah. But look at something. Once we have our color mapping on, see what happens. See that it brings back the color. So that's what I mean by leakage. It preserves the color of your light. And then the denoiser I use, you notice that there's no more noise. We don't have a lot of noise. So, and then I think the ambient occlusion is too black. I don't want something this black. So most times what I do, I go back to my ambient occlusion and change this from black to around medium gray, around this, and click OK. So once then I may do this. I may do this also. Okay, so once I render, you see the difference. The ambient occlusion is now, you see, it's calmer. It's like it's more calm than what we had. In fact, I don't think it's calm. I don't like it. It's still black. So I can. Sorry, let me just go back there.
The shadow is still there a bit.
Yes, it is. It is. I don't know what's wrong with my cinema 4D. It keeps crashing. Thank God I saved that before it did that last crash. So we have how many minutes to go? About 40 minutes to go. Okay, so let's go. Okay, so I think it's still dark. Okay,
Yes.
let me go back to my settings. I don't want it to be that black. It's too much. So I can bring this up. Yes, like so. And then let's see what happens at this stage. You see, it's not as black as how it was. It's not as black as how it was. It's better this way. So the next thing to do is to work with my light. Right, work with my light. So you see that my back light is not showing. So I want my red to show a bit. Can increase that. Check. Good. So you see my red is showing at that stage.
Okay, yes.
And
The
then
red is already out.
exactly. And then I think the blue is too much, right? Which is my fill light. So I don't want it to be that much. I can pick it up and reduce it. Right? And then also can drag it to this part right here. Take it back a bit.
Well, sir, how are you reducing it?
It's just come here. I just came here, transform it down and up. That's all.
Okay.
That's one way I do it. Or you can also come to the attribute here, details, and start, reduce. Okay, no, this will. I start reducing the size X and Y, but this is long journey for me. I don't have that luxury of time to do that, so I just do this. And then you notice something. You see this circle, right? Because I chose it to be physically accurate, it's telling me that my light may not get to my object. This light may not get to this object because the circle is not getting to where the object is. So if I render, you see that the blue is no more there
Yes, the
because
blue is gone.
it's gone. So I
Okay.
need to come back to here where the blue is and extend this a bit. So it touches it like so. So I can re-render. And then you see some touch of blue. You see blue is here.
Yeah, at
If you
one side a bit.
adjust one side. So all I just need to do is to increase this a bit, and then I can have my so let's try it again. So it just depends on what you want. Depends on what you want. I think this is fine, right?
Yes.
And then I can decide to add one more light, right? And this light may be on the top. It will be on the top. I just want it to be on the top of the model.
Okay. Maybe
And
yellow.
it's not an area light. Yellow, exactly. You know my mind. You read my mind. So I want a yellow light up there, right? And I want it to be physically accurate. And then I increase it. Like, let's see what happens with it. You see, I used the yellow subtle on the top.
Yes, sir.
So you begin to see these yellow lights, right, as we put materials. So the first material I want to add on this is I want to add shiny materials on all these spheres. So I want to add a red, a yellow, a blue, and a green. So let's look for a reflective object. Okay, let me start from the red, right? I want it to be reflective. So come to the reflectance and change it to reflection legacy, and then reduce the roughness and increase the reflection strength. I don't want it to be too much. Let's increase this. Okay, I think I like this one. Let me increase this a bit. Okay, I think I like it like this.
Yes, sir.
You can add any other thing you want to add. So remember guys, that I put the HDRI. All right. Okay, let me drag this here. Watch. Okay, before I drop the HDRI, let me drag this here first. Right? And render. So you see what that red is doing, right? It's showing us all the lights around and everything. We're happy. But look at it now with our sky objects.
Sir.
Ma.
Sir, can you please take it back to that mode again? Yes, this place. I can still see the yellow up. The yellow you placed is up.
Yes, you will. They're supposed to, because it's deliberate.
Okay.
So now, because I brought in this HDRI, right? So the thing is, it's showing the room around, and I don't want that in my render. I don't want that. So one of the things we do is we go to tags. Tags are very, very important in Cinema 4D. They are like properties that you attach to objects to make them respond in a certain way. So I come to render tags, compositing. So I don't want my camera to see this sky object. So I come to sync by camera and turn it off. Bam. So once I render, camera would not see it, but it will still be in the environment, influencing how the environment is lit up, right?
Yes,
So
sir.
let me increase this lights. I think I like these yellow lights. Shadow, soft shadow, illumination. No, let's. Okay. All right. I think I have to bring my blue forward a bit. I want that blue to show because it's a feel light. It's not, I'm not feeling it. So I want it to show like so. Is to, hey, why is this thing crashing? Why does it keep crashing? I'm sorry, guys, for this thing crashing 50 times today. All right, so let's open. All right, thank God I saved it. So, so let's try to render and see. We're still in the fine tuning mode. Okay, I think I like this. So this is with HDRI, with the lights, with the render settings, right? This is with what we want, global illumination, blah, 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 everything inside. So now the next thing to do is to, I think my HDRI is too much. It's too much. Okay. All right. So next is, let's start adding the other materials. So we have the red. So all we just need to do is to copy and paste this one. That's all.
It's for
Just
different
duplicate it.
colors.
So Yeah, I'll just add the different colors to them. So let's duplicate here. I just click, hold control, 1, 2, 3. So for this, let's make it green. In fact, I think everything is too reflective. Reflection brightness, specular bright. I don't want specular to be too much. Yeah, I think this is okay. All right. So the next is the blue one. Let's add the blue one. Then the next is the yellow one. The yellow one. Like so. All right. So all that is said and done. Just click and drag to the respective places you want them to be. Right. Then the next is what should we make these things? Probably let me get an idea from you guys. Some people use, I think I like this, stainless steel. So it's chrome. They use the chrome to make this work. So let me use a chrome. So in order to get a chrome, you can either come to the preloaded materials of Cinema 4D. Where are you? Materials. I don't think I have them yet. Okay, car paint, every gold. I think I should make it gold. That's another way to do it, right? Gold, click and drag. And then the next is, okay, let's test render to see what we've done. Okay, I think we're getting there, right? We're getting there bit by bit. So for these guys, for these cylinders, what do we want? I think let me steal another concept from you guys. Okay, so basically the same colors. So let's visually the tallest one, let's make it green, right? The shortest one, probably we make it red, and then this guy yellow, and of course this guy blue, right? Or we can exchange it, red, yellow. Okay, it's fine. Let's do it that way. And then this guy right here, I make it white. So I'm not trying to even follow what I'm seeing here. I'm not trying to follow these guys, right? I'm just trying to see how I can mix colors. But I'm definitely gonna make these guys red. This guy is red because they look really good on red. So so this is just basically adding objects. I'm not even trying to make an extra object or making something extra that would, take our time. So let's just add. So remember the cloner. Remember the cloner, right? As we click and drag, it adds it to this part. So this cloner, you can also pick colors and add like this, and to show where you want it to show. But I prefer dragging to the main object on the same. So I can do this. Then this gear, the gear system. What do we want to do? Now, this is the part where we add the colors on different parts of the object, right? Different parts of the object. So in order to do that, we have to enter the edit mode and begin to click and drag. Begin to click and drag into that. So let's enter the edit mode and come here. No, this guy. Where are you? This guy. Then let me get out of my camera mode. Zoom into my object, and then let's drop in. I think we should drop in the gold.
Yes.
First. Yeah. So we want this side to be black. It's already selected, right? So we can bring the. In fact, I don't want it to be black. I want it to be.
Maybe white.
White, no, no. I want it to be, you know what? I want it to illuminate. So I use luminance. So we're doing different things now. Luminance on green, right? And we drop it here. So you notice that something has happened. Something has really happened. Once I drag my luminance, it changes the color of the entire object. So what we do at this point is to, let me even first remove this from here, is to come to the object, right? Come to the object and switch these two materials. Just click this and drag. Why is it not switching? Okay. Sorry, click this and put it on the cylinder. Then exchange this object like so. And then you're gonna have it the right way. Make sure that your objects are always, your material is always on your objects, right? So zoom out, let's save. And let me see, let me test render. It's gonna take a while though, but let's see. Notice that I've not even used objects or I've not placed material on the disk and some other objects. Okay. Yeah, I think I like this. Go to my render settings, right? And add the effect of glow. Because if we don't add it, what we have to illuminate will not illuminate, right? So let's test that again. And yeah, so we have that glow right there. But I think it's too much though. I can come to my render settings and reduce the size of the glow. The intensity, I can reduce it. You must reduce it a bit. Okay, so I think that's fine. So the next thing to do is to add, I think white, just basic white to these guys. So let's white, like so. And I click and drag, on these two. Good. Then the next thing to do is to okay, on this guy, the hands.
So you didn't put color on the hands.
Yes, I think I'm gonna use gold. I'm gonna use gold for it. So I've been able to, then let's go back to, okay, right now, camera mode now. And then I think I will reduce my lights. I don't want it to be too much.
It's too bright.
Too bright. So okay, so let's see what's going on here. Let's render. Let's see. And there are different render settings that can alter your system. You know, there are a lot of things that you can do to make your render better. But trust me, you may alter your system, alter your computer. So okay, so while that is rendering, that is rendering, then we will not be able to touch animations today. We may not be able to touch animations today, but I would like to explain one or two things to you, right? And so next week we're going to animate next week, but I'll give you a task to animate these things, right? Animate them in a way that you want them to go. So for example, I want to animate this guy. I want to animate the gear system, right? I think I have something going on with my selector tool. Should be visible only. That's why I'm having issues. Okay, so I want to animate this guy. All I just need to do is first make sure that my anchor point is at the middle of the object, right? So I want the object to rotate within within 3 seconds, because 90 frames is 3 seconds. I would explain these things next week. You know, the animation jargon. I'll explain it to you guys next week. So first is I go to sorry guys, can you hear me? Can you guys still hear me?
Yes, sir. Can hear you.
Thank you. All right. So let me just keyframe, for example. Just I'm showing you a sample keyframe, right? And then when I get to this point, basic, basic, I rotate it about 360. What's your project? All right, so 360, and then we select. So once we play like so, this rotates, right? And then, but you notice that it's slowing down at the when it's trying to get to the end, right? It's slowing down. But don't worry, next week I would explain all that. I would go intricately into the F curves, of animation. Then this guy too. Yeah, this guy we can also, because they're arrows, right? We can decide to animate them forward. Okay, let me check our render first. Okay, so let me okay. All right. So if you look at this well, the light is balanced. So we have a few lights in front, a key light in front, a few lights by the side, and everything looks really cool because we're able to blend the lights the right way. So
Yes.
if we are not able to blend these lights the right way, there's going to be an issue when you are exporting your image out for use. So let me use a PNG. Okay, so let's just filter and okay, and then let's call it flash time one. So I think I should open it. I really apologize for the noise around. Yeah, I think I'll send this to Slack. So all right, so that's mine. So next week we're working on animations and how to animate different objects together, right? Okay, so the next is okay. I was explaining the task for the week. So I need everybody to first animate whatever it is you've done in the way that you deem it fit. So you don't have to render everything out. If your system cannot render it out, you can do a screen recording and send it out to the group. If your system can render out the animations, why not render it out and let's see how your animations will look, right? But for this guy, because we may not be able to render the moving arms, right? So I want us to before we go, we model this guy. So let's pick a capsule. Let's take a capsule. The time frame, just 3 seconds, about 90 frames. 90 frames, 3 seconds. Okay, so let me ooh, I don't think I saved that. This thing has crashed again. I'm not even happy with all this. But next week, though, before we jump into the animation, I'll have to explain some basic principles of animations to you. In fact, you know what? Instead of me explaining, go to YouTube and search for. Uh, okay, so let me drop the HDRI link for you. So this is where you can get HDRI for your scene, right? And then let me also go to YouTube and show you the video you should watch before next week. Show you the videos you should watch before next week, right? The video is the 12 principles of animation. Steven, are you here? I remember that video.
Yes, I can remember the video. I have it on my system.
Okay, you have it on your computer. So if you can share with people, or just send them the link. It's a very, very, let me go there. Yeah, this guy. There's one that is very, yeah, this guy. You should, no, not this one. Hold on. This. You should go watch this, right? So that by the time we are animating next week, you'll understand when I do some things. So, by Alan Baker. Yes,
I have a
by Alan
question.
Baker. All right, ask the question.
Okay, my question is not based on the 3D or the animation. I
Okay.
have an external hard disk. You know, my system has been unable to download the Cinema 4D. So because of the 2 gig RAM and all that. So I don't know. I had an HP laptop for the disk is still good. I think it's 8 gig RAM. So I don't know if I should put it on this one. What if it can work? Install that Cinema 4D.
What HP laptop is that?
Pavilion, HP Pavilion.
Pavilion. So you're asking that you want to put cinema on HP Pavilion.
Yeah, I mean the laptop motherboard is bad, but the external disk is still good. I don't know if I should exchange it with this 2 gig RAM and work.
Wait, let me get your explanation well. The current system you are using, the motherboard is bad, right?
It's Dell. Yes, no, the current system I'm using is Dell. But I had HP laptop that the motherboard is bad. So but the disk is still good. I think it's 8 gig RAM, but this current one I'm using is 2 gig RAM, so it's too low for the
Okay. So sometimes
right.
if you overboost your computer, probably you drop a 2 gig RAM, an 8 gig RAM on a motherboard or a processor that cannot take it, you might spoil that computer. So you need to understand the configurations. You just don't add RAM or whatever to any kind of motherboard because they are configurations. So if your processor speed cannot take your RAM size, there'll be an issue. That's the truth. There'll be an issue. So we need to know. We need to know. That's the concern. So it's not even about the 8 gig RAM now. It's not even about the 8 gig RAM. And then also, I think Cinema 4D, Cinema 4D uses graphic card. So even if you put it on, even if you put it on your graphic card, even if you put it on the computer, it may not work because of graphic card issues. That's why I was telling people to downgrade to lower versions of Cinema or Blender if you want to actually really enjoy it. Yes. So please
Is
watch
a 2 gig graphics card system good enough?
2 gig graphics card. There is actually nothing like 2 gig graphics card, but you mean video card. So they are different. There's graphics card, there's video card. So graphics card is like they come out in versions. They come out in versions like AMD Radeon something something or NVIDIA GTX, NVIDIA RTX 1060, all those things. They come out per configuration, right? Then we now have RAM. 2 gig RAM, 4 gig RAM, 16 gig RAM, 32 gig RAM, 64 gig RAM, and so on. Then we now
Oh,
have
okay. What they sent to me is 2 gig dedicated AMD Radeon Pro graphic.
that's good. Yeah, it'll work. Yes, 2 gig dedicated video
AMD
memory
Radeon.
work.
Okay.
AMD radio it'll work. At least it'll work.
Okay, sir.
So
Thank you.
yes, you're welcome. So at this stage, I think I'll be taking questions. I think I'll be taking questions because I believe we've spoken for 1 hour and 20 minutes, 1 hour and 40 minutes, or yeah. And it will make sense to take questions now. Questions pertaining to cinema and all. Okay, wait, before we take questions, sorry, I was trying to rework this guy. Okay, so let's take the Taurus. Where's my Taurus? Let's take the Taurus. Sorry, capsule, not Taurus. And then let's put the capsule. Where is it? Let's put the capsule. Here. So we have to reduce the. I'll show you what I mean by so that this will be editable and animatable easily. I mean the arm. So let me rotate this guy and drop this guy right here. Okay. All right, so we have that as the first. And then let's make it editable, right? And how do we make things editable? By pressing C. That's the shortcut. Because I don't even know where the button is anymore in this new one, but my shortcut is C. So I made it editable. So in order for it to rotate around this axis, see, it's rotating around the center, but I want it to rotate around this axis right here. So I use this button and use this so that I can move it to here, right? So once I have that, once I have my rotation, see, it rotates around that space. In fact, it's not perfect yet. I need to make it really, really at the middle. So I think it's here. I'm just eyeballing it, guys. So I'm not. Okay. So let's try to rotate it. Yeah, I think I like it this way, right? So the other one, let's just duplicate and rotate. In fact, I should have made it smaller before doing this. All right, so now there's an issue. And what's the issue? If I try to reduce this way, right, it will deform my capsule. You see, it's deforming, right? If I try to reduce it this way, it will make it smaller. So what should I do, right? At this point, what we'll do is would bring in the polygons or the points. So I come to point mode, right? And I select where's my selection tool? I select, okay, it's here. With my lasso, I select these points. In fact, yeah. And then I'll drag them like so. But okay, there's a problem there. Let me select again. Yeah, like so. And then so that we still preserve the shape of our object. Because I made it editable already, it will be easy for me um, move it around. Okay, so these two objects, right? Let's bring them forward. Oh, this thing crashed again. I don't know why it keeps crashing on me. This is so bad. Oh, I think I may need to restart my computer. Sorry, guys. Just give me 1 minute. Okay, yeah. All right. So let's thank God I saved it though. So um okay, so these two, right? Bring them forward because let's go back to object mode. Remember to bring them forward. Mm-hmm. All right. So okay. Then I'll apply the gold to them. The gold to this guy and this guy. And then the one that was there before, I think I'll just remove and delete this guy. Where are you? Okay, here. So I just delete this guy and then bring this guys visible. So now in animating the arm, I think animated, let me just animate it again. So here, right? And then once it gets here, probably it's like so. Right, I want it to turn the other way to 360 degree, right? I record. Then this guy, let's go back. And then let's bring this guy like so. I want this guy to do his own 362. Basic stuff, right? And then I save it. Then this guy, I want him to do his own 362. I don't think he did. So 360. Yeah, 360 like so. All right. And then, so once I play, right, everything works together, right? Everything works together. And then probably this guy is right here. I'll make them start bubbling up and down, up and down, up
Yes,
and down.
move.
So let me pause. But remember that we have what we call easy ease, which I will explain later. So so let's make it editable, right? Make it editable, and then at the first point, it has. So let's go to the point mode, right? And then I select. Okay, probably I select this, right? And then one at the middle, I want it to at 45, which is like 1.5 seconds. I want it to come down, right? And then at last, I want it to come back up in that sense. So once I play, oh no, 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 no. I'm supposed to animate the points. So let's select the objects. Coordinates. So here, okay, I think hold on guys. Something is not right. Oh, okay. So I can also make it point level animation. I don't think I should do that now. That's so advanced. Where's my PLE? Okay, my PLE. I think I should undo that. Sorry guys. Sorry. Uh, I think if I want to do that, it will be a point level animation. I think I may have to run. I think I may have to run now because there's a lot of distractions where I am. I'm gonna do this first. Yeah. Okay. Um, let me see. I want this thing.
You moved it in though. Like you move that bar inside.
So if I do this, right, you see both are like moving. So I don't want that. So I think, hold on. Okay, so I think I just have to make it editable, and then um, I select the top
You
top
moved the
face.
blue closer to the red. Like you mistakenly moved that.
Oh, really? Let me see.
Yes.
Wow. Oh, thank you. You are paying attention. Thank you. That's good. Thank you. So let me just take it back. Thank you very much. Paying attention. Okay, so this thing crashed again. God. I think at this point, I'll have to call it a day with everybody. I think at this point, let me try one more time. Okay, so okay. Let me select it again. I make it editable. Then let me go to the. Okay, I think it's still in the mute position. Is it? Okay, no. So let's go to the top, right? And let's work with this face right here. I don't think. Then let's. All right. So let me see what will happen. So at this stage, it's so at this stage, it's something is wrong with. Hold on. Thank you, Anthony. It's not working. I don't know what's wrong with me. Hold on, guys. I'm sorry for this. Move this guy down. Ah, how do I figure this out? Hold on, guys. I'm trying to find a way to make sure that it's only the head that comes down. So if that, you said, are you saying something? Yeah. So 60. You're saying something. Okay. Mm, cylinder. I need to move the. That's the coordinates. That's the coordinates. Okay. Let me make it editable again. So it changes. Then L. All right. Then yes, I think I got it. Yeah, I think I got it. So I come to my yes. This is what I wanted to do. Right. This is what I wanted to do. So probably it's here. I'm using my transform tool, right? to transform the heights. And then once I get here, probably I want it to come down. So this is scale in the y direction, right? So I make it, I give it the animation tag right here. That's what this is for, right? To add animations to the parameter. And I take it back. Okay, I think that's, let me make it like so. Then right here, take it back to here, right? And then we can bring it at the middle, to the middle here, and do this, and then probably on 25, and bring it up. All right, so I think that's it. So once I play everything together, so we have moving parts. So imagine everything is moving. So the same thing, I can come to this guy before we go and clear what I did there. So come to the other cylinder, make it editable, right? And then we are moving the axis down, to be down, because we want it to transform down and not up. And then change the transform to like so. And then on the scale on y-axis, that's mean of s dot y. Scale on y-axis, then probably we want to scale down. So I want it to scale up when it gets here. And then take it forward, want it to scale a bit down. And then while that one is coming up, I want this to come down. Like so. So that's number 2. But don't mind the easy is. I'm going to attend to that next week. Then the next is okay, we're 2 minutes away. I think at this point I'll just come to the end of this class because I want us to close the dot floor. So you get the idea of what I want. I want all these objects to be individually animated, right? And you can animate this sphere too. For example, the spheres. I'll select the spheres, and on the right, then I think, yeah, okay. So I can decide to do this, right? And see, move it a bit up. Then on 90, take it back down. Pump, pump. And then, so this is just animating PSR, which is the position, scale, and rotation. That's why I keep coming here. But if you're animating an entire object, like the whole object, you have to can do it right here. So once we play, so are you seeing the atom is moving, right? So every other thing should move too. You can make every other thing move. Probably this first and second atom can be the only ones moving, right? Because we don't want to expose our animation because we did not link these two right here, these two cylinders right here. So I think it's even too much at this point. We'll soon leave now. Because okay, this guy. Let's bring this guy forward. Let's reduce. Okay. Yep, I think that's it. All right, so guys, thank you very much. Nice having a nice class again today. So let's do the animation assignment and let's meet next week to enter another model.
Recording of the
Something
class.
advanced. Yeah, the recording of the class will be available. Bye, guys.
Thank you,
very much.
sir.
Have a very
Thank you,
blessed
sir.
day, guys.